Today marks 1345th day sharing lessons I learn and continue to learn with you. I hope these lessons will inspire you, support your dreams, help achieve your goals, and it'll empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about thinking. There's a positive thinking a lot of times and negative thinking. I think that is quite easy to understand that, and sometimes we separate people into two groups: positive thinkers and negative thinkers. And if probably you've heard it, it's better to have positive thinking than negative thinking. But today I want to really create two more groups out of that: negative thinking and positive thinking. That means that negative thinking could be positive, it could be negative. So it could be helpful negative thinking, and it could be unhelpful negative thinking. At the same time, with positive, could be helpful positive thinking and unhelpful positive thinking. And I think that when you start looking into different perspective, when you're able to look into the positive thinking that could be helpful, it could be unhelpful, unhurtful, harmful. I think that you are much better to really use that thinking that you have for your own benefit. So that if you find yourself that you're a negative thinker, it might be that okay, like how I could make it positive for me, how I could make it helpful for me, with the mindset I have. Because I think that there's a lot of people who has said that I'm a positive thinker, I'm an optimist, but I think that it might become a harmful thing if you do not use the thinking in the right way. So today I will share I will go a little bit deeper explanation on those four types of thinking. And then, of course, I explain what every single person needs to know about those four thinking ways. That to make sure that we're able to really maximize the way how we move in life and start to really find a way to really balance everything that, because I really believe in balance. In balance seeking, not the balance, because life is not never balanced. It will never be balanced, but to be able to seek it, but it will just understanding there's no perfection. Like this is the most important thing. So the first one, let's start with the most positive. So helpful, positive thinking. So that means that when we actually have that helpful, positive thinking, that we are motivated, inspired, and we're able to take action. So that means we're looking at setback, but from perspective that we're able to get better. Because I think that I probably will go both from the unhelpful, false positive thinking, and helpful positive thinking at the same time. So like when you look into helpful positive thinking, that means that when we experience something that was very negative, we acknowledge that. And it's like we were embarrassed, we got rejected, and you go directly into that failure and reflect, get awareness around it, you get better, and you move forward. This is the positive thinking. This is a helpful positive thinking because you're able to look directly into your own eyes. Like you made a mistake. You were not enough for this moment. You didn't prepare. And next time I will be able to get better because this is what you're able to reflect. Like, this is what worked. This is what didn't work, and this is what I will need. This is what I will need to do better. So from negative positive, that unhelpful positive thinking is that you made a mistake. Everything at the end will be great. And why is that bad? Why is that unhelpful? If you are saying that everything will be fine without getting better, nothing will change. So that is delusion, hoping that things will change when you don't change. Positive or helpful positive thinking is when you're changing, improving, reflecting. You don't denying what happened, but you're really going into that and reflecting and get better. So when you think about positive thinkers, we need to understand, are we actually getting better? Are we changing? Are we improving? Because hoping things to change when we do not change, I think that is probably you heard that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. And exactly the same with positive thinking, unhelpful positive thinking. When you do not grow, but you have a idea and positive idea that things will get better. Why will things get better? Things need to get better because you get better. I think that's again the biggest mind shift is this positive thinking is based on something? What is based on? Or just hope itself? Because I think that the best way to base positive thinking is on action, on change, on growth. Things will change because I'm changing. I'm developing, I'm growing, I'm getting better. I think that's the most important part. And it might be said like I don't have much control over it. Yeah, but what kind of control do you have? What kind of influence do you have? I think that's again the most important part, being able to really have that positive thinking. Because if we attach positive thinking based on external things, again, this is an unhelpful positive thinking. Life will change and things will get better. Life will change, but how about yourself? How about us? How will like I will change and life will get better? This is again positive thinking. Because as I said, negative positive thinking could be a thing, and I think that a lot of times this positive thinking that is in proclaimed or looked at from the negative perspective, I think that this slows people down, even sabotage people. So I think that sometimes people who are helpful negative thinking, I think that it will outperform a person who has a positive thinking that is unhelpful for them. So let's get to the other part, negative thinking. It could be helpful negative thinking, and it could be unhelpful negative thinking. So I think that unhelpful negative thinking is that a person is looking at all the things that could go potentially wrong. But the person who's looking into all the things that could go wrong, but is preparing for it, he's preparing for the worst case scenario, and he's preparing for it. That means that this could be a massive help because he's ready for everything. He knows that life is not easy. He doesn't have pink glasses. He knows that life might be difficult, and is better getting ready for it. So that's just again helpful negative thinking. You know that there's a lot of things that will go sideways. You know that, but you're getting ready for it, and that's why I said that people who has helpful negative thinking outperform a person who has positive thinking that is unhelpful, because positive thinkers a lot of times base their positivity out of mid-air. They have positive thinking, but they have no idea why they have it. Maybe that's the first step, but that's where we're not supposed to stay. That's again that we need to really prepare for things, get better at things. And I think that's why helpful negative thinking is outperforming a lot of people, even though they have negative thinking. And that's why I said that this is not about negative or positive thinking. It's about how helpful that thinking is for you specifically. Do you learn how to use your thinking in the highest possible way? Because unhelpful negative thinking is that when people start to judge themselves, I will never get better. This is not for me. I'm not enough. Or people say like, oh, this is will go sideways. I better never start. So that means both negative people think that this will go sideways. But helpful prepares for it. Unhelpful doesn't prepare for it. So it will it will never go my way anyway. Why I need to prepare for it? So again, the way how we think about thoughts, I think it's not just more for the positive and negative. I think that the most important part that you need to ask is this helpful for me, or is this not? And when we able to distinguish that thought process, is it helpful or not? It doesn't matter, is it positive or negative. I think it was the most important part, we need to have negative and positive thinking. So it means being able to really look into positivity, no matter what happens, I'm able to reflect, I'm able to grow, I'm able to get better, I'm able to prove and succeed. But it seems I need to have some negativity in that. Understand, okay, what could potentially go wrong and be able to prepare for it. It's like almost Pareto rule. For me, I think that positive thinking is better. So the 80% of the time you need to be positive, 20% you need to be negative. Being able to blend them together, and the most important part, we need to really strive to really make sure that all our thoughts are helpful and not harmful. And I think that the most important part is just the helpful thoughts are always when we're able to reflect, okay, what do we need to do to really make it better? And we're able to do that, of course, things will get better. So I guess like the most important things what's the biggest takeaways of today is that it's not about just being positive that matters. It's more about asking our thought process. What kind of thoughts is positive? What kind of thoughts are helpful? And what kind of thoughts are harmful? Because I think that sometimes we get lost. We live in denial, and sometimes we do not understand that even positive thoughts, like it will work out, might be negative and harmful if you actually don't change, if you don't improve, if you're not looking and you're not getting better, you're not aware of the things that really caused that that tragedy or something that's really mistake. And I really love that the truth that thoughts are tools, not truth. Thoughts are tools. So that means when you think about tools, so what kind of tools you use? Is those tools that you have in place, is it helping you or not? When you start looking into your thoughts not as truths, because sometimes we start to believe our own thoughts, even though those thoughts are not validated. There's no ground underneath of our thoughts. And that's why I think that's very, very important to understand that our thoughts are tools to build a house or destroy the house of our own vision. I think that the most important part as well that to really learn and build a habit of asking question. That one question, is this helpful? So when you think about positive thought, is this helpful? When you're thinking about negative thought, is this helpful? I think that's such a powerful question because you realize that even positive thought could be not helpful if you're actually not getting better. It seems brings hope, but I think that's if it brings hope is what that hope is based on, as external things or internal things. I think that we're supposed to base our hope on our internal things, so that means being able to build our own resilience, that you trust yourself. Because I know that you will have resourcefulness, you will be able to grow, develop, you read books, you speak with coaches, mentors, you develop, you network. You know that at some point you will hit some gold in one way or another. I think that's a great have to have that positive thinking because at that moment you know that at some things will happen, some results will bring. I think that's I mentioned really that balance is wise thing to pursue. So have a negative and positive thinking in a balance as much as we can. And sometimes it's going to be more. But again, there's just over the seasons of life, we need to really make sure that we're able to really have balance. And the most important part is probably watch out for those traps, those unhealthy positivity and unhealthy negativity. And knowing that we're able to ask ourselves constantly, that means that we're able to develop the skill set of understanding when our thoughts are negative, when our thoughts are positive, when our thoughts are helpful, and when those thoughts are not helpful at all. And probably the last thing that I want to mention is that probably I've heard that there's a book that as you think you are, this is who you are, and this is how your life is created. So we need to understand that your thoughts are influencing your emotions, your actions, your choices, and your life. So it's not a joke. This topic is not a joke. It's one of the key aspects of life because better thoughts lead to better emotions, better actions, and better results, and better life. So really, we need to take care of our thoughts in the highest possible way. And this really helped me to understand that we really need to look into it. Are those thoughts that I'm thinking every single day are helping me? Are they serving me? Or are they sabotaging me and keeping me away from my goal or maybe slowing down? And that's why maybe I'm stuck in the loop because my thoughts are not helping me to move forward. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.